Hi everybody, this is David Tobit here. I'm going to be testing out um, a mobile app that I found to help individuals that have anxiety disorders. And it's called the CBT app. It looks like it's called the CBT app. It costs about $2.99 and you can download it from the iTunes store. I'm using it on my iPad. You can also use it on iPhones or any smartphone. It can also be used downloaded for PCs. The the purpose of the app is to allow an individual with who's experiencing anxiety to understand the importance of writing down their thoughts as they happen, so that they can get good feedback from their therapist. So this particular app is supposed to be a way to link a person with their therapist without the person having to go and have direct contact with their therapist. And by therapist, it could be a psychiatrist, it could be a guidance counselor, it could be anybody who has the capabilities to calm a person down who's experiencing an, an anxiety causing situation. This particular app, it does have a lot of information pages. It's very text heavy. As you can see here, there's very few visuals other than text. So I'm not really sure how much a student, an adolescent student, which is what my essay focused on, would like this setup. But if as you go through the app, one of the things it asks you to do is to recognize thoughts. And you can see here, I went ahead and filled this one in as if I was a person who had to give a presentation in front of peers, and that was too much for me. That made me really, really nervous. So question one is, in what situation did an automatic negative thought arise? So the situation, when was it, where were you, what happened? I wrote that I was somewhere where I needed to, a meeting where I needed to give a presentation. And then it has these things called ANTSs, which ANTs arose. Those are called automatic negative thoughts, and it gives an explanation for what those are. And I wrote that I thought I might stutter, or that someone would laugh at me or think I was stupid. Um, Number three, which emotions did you experience as a consequence of your aunt? And one nice thing is if you're, if you're reflecting on the experience that you just have, instead of having to come up with these emotions, you can click here, and it gives you a nice page where you can select anything you want that describes the emotions that you felt, in case you're having trouble coming up with your own words to describe the emotions. And then they show up automatically here. Number four is which flight avoidance or security behavior. So patients with anxiety disorders, they can look these up, but flight would be like if you ran out of the room. Avoidance would mean that you just didn't go to the meeting at all, or you left the meeting, to avoid the stressful situation. And then you can see down here at the bottom, once you're finished, you can save your entry. You can click send, and you can download it, or you can email it to a therapist or to yourself. Whenever you're done with that, you can just click here and click a new one. Another blank one shows up, and you can preview saved entries as well. So this app allows individuals with social anxiety to record their thoughts, send them to someone who can give them feedback on their thoughts, or just keep a record of the thoughts they had and how they're progressing through things. Without actually receiving feedback, it's hard for me to advance through these other steps, but I'll click on them so you can see what they look like. Here's another one, all or nothing thinking, catastrophe thinking, disqualifying, thinking with your feelings, labeling, exaggerate or reduce, mental filter, mind reading, sweeping generalizations, personalization, must and should. So these are all traps that someone with social anxiety, when they get into their downward spiral of thoughts and that they have trouble escaping, these are traps that they might fall into. So they can write down when they're in the trap. So mine would have been at a meeting, at work, and then they can um, give examples of what they are. And there's, as you can see, there's all different kinds of them. There's 10 listed on this app. Challenging thoughts, automatic negative thought. If you want to use an ant from recognizing thoughts, you can copy it from here. So you can go back to the documentation you made prior and write down the ants that you selected, whether it was disgust or anger or frustration. Your proof, what proof do you have that supports the thought? Then you can rate how much this ant was correct. So I mean, I don't have social anxiety myself, but I would assume if you did, that you would be able to answer those questions. And then there's a behavior experiment where you can enter more information about the situations that cause you anxiety and how you're dealing with them. And all of these things, all these forms that I just ran through rather quickly, you can save and send. And like I said, this app is designed to create a link between patient and the person they're getting therapy from, so that they can communicate their thoughts and get feedback from that person to help counter the anxiety that they're having.